Hey, today we'll show you how to repair Audio-Technica ATH-M50 3.5mm stereo jack like a real professional. It's actually quite easy to replace it. Before this, a non-professional had already repaired these headphones, but sadly they used a poor quality jack. And that's why we can see the consequences. This is the DIY guide you definitely should learn to do before you enter year 2021. To do the repairs, you must first order a new replacement 3.5mm stereo jack. Links will be in the description. If you're an audio lover and use DAC and amp, you can also put a new 6.35mm jack and get better quality. In addition to a new jack, you'll also need a set of DIY soldering tools. And as usual, some heat shrink tubing. As always, start by cutting off the damaged or old 3.5mm jack. Cut around 1 to 2 cm from it. Then take the cable somewhere at the end of it and lightly pull it so that the excess rubber stretches, and we can remove it later on. Put the jack's housing on top, because after the jack is soldered, the housing can no longer be put on and you'll have to do everything all over again. Measure how much wire you will need, and then remove the appropriate length of outer insulation. But carefully without cutting the inner wires. Then separate each wire, but carefully, because if at least one small strand will be attached to the wrong color, headphones won't work properly. As a result, you should have 3 beautiful wires. Colors may vary. Therefore, let's thin out 3 wires so that we can find out with a multimeter which color is left, right and ground. Take a multimeter to measure the resistance. Then put on the headphones to hear which speaker starts beeping. In this case, red wire is right, green is left, and ground is gold wire. Then apply thin on the contacts of our new jack so that new wires can be soldered more easily and with better quality. Cut off the excess length of the ground wire and put it at the bottom of a new connector, and then solder it. After that, fasten the wire using its fastening paws to secure it. Solder the left and right channels. Personally, as a result, I got something like this. Then take your Gothic Sister's Best nail polish and smear all the contacts and wires with it to avoid forming short circuits. Then take the super glue and put a little bit of it on the place where wire is fastened to the jack itself. Then put a heat shrink tubing on top and melt it using fire. Then once again borrow super glue from your grandfather. He will probably need it at this moment. And apply glue on all contacts to fasten them. Then screw on the jack's housing, but screw it tightly. And here's the result. Headphones already look like brand new and can be used once again. However, I should remind you that you're on Techscrew channel and there's some time left on the video. To do this professionally, we should do something more. Put a heat shrink tubing on top which is a little bit longer than the plug itself. But before we shrink it, put super glue on the cable at the very end of the connector. This strengthens the cable and improves headphones' lifetime. Put the heat shrink tubing around the beginning of the jack and melt it. Excess heat shrink tubing can be cut off with a sharp paper knife. Here's the result, straight from the factory. You have saved time and a lot of money by not buying new headphones. As always, you can say thank you by clicking those like and subscribe buttons, and to also support us for making these money-saving DIY videos. If you have any suggestions or questions, feel free to write them in the comment section. Links to parts will be in the description. Thanks and see you in another video.